Yeah. Hello, folks. See if I get the camera angle right. Yeah, I was just on my lunch break and heading back to work right now. Um, you know, I'm really, really disappointed about this whole Biden administration. I think, to be honest, Trump said that the election's rigged. You know what? And I understand what he means by that. See, you got to understand what he means. He says things in context a lot. So you actually have to know the context in which he's speaking in. And it's not just like, it's not like, okay, the election is rigged as in, like they were faking votes. No, they were not faking votes. But at the same time, wait, I should go this way. At the same time, he appealed to the people who just didn't want to vote for Trump. That's it. It had nothing to do about his politics or what, because to be honest, he really doesn't have any politics. He doesn't have any policy. It seems, honestly, what I think is going on is that Kamala Harris is in the background telling Biden what to do. And maybe, it's a lot of noise out here, so I don't know if you hear me or not. But maybe even the first lady is telling Biden what to do, because it's, if you ever saw an interview where Mrs. Biden is talking with the news media with Joe Biden, it's almost like she's telling him what to do, and I'm like, they were making jokes and actually went through the which is actually standard procedure, doing Trump's physical, his mental, psychological, everything. I mean, this is normal routine for every person that becomes president. Everyone goes through it. George Washington went through it. Theodore Roosevelt went through it. Ronald Reagan went through it. Clinton went through it. Barack Hussein Obama went through it. It's not something to be like, oh, they did a physical on it. Oh, is he fit to be president? No, everyone goes through that. That's a default routine thing that they do. And but I how they televised, publicly announced Trump's physical. Well, how about Biden? I haven't seen anything about Biden. And this guy, I understand, and I can tell when he has a stutter. You understand what I'm saying? I do know he has a stutter, and I can tell when he's trying to, work his way through words, partly because I have dyslexia. So, and I'm not talking about, people are like, oh, I'm dyslexic. No, I mean, actually, I am actually dyslexic. That's why I always have to double check myself. That's why I do it. And sometimes when I read things, I read it aloud. Even if it's under my breath, I read it aloud. Because sometimes I read and then my brain processes and I realized that it's not matching. So then I reanalyze and I realize where I went wrong. And that's why I can tell, that's why I don't make mistakes like I used to. You know, I learned how to deal and cope with my dyslexia. And I can tell when Joe Biden is, you know, trying to keep there with his words, because yeah, I know he has a stutter. But the thing is that there's a difference between just having a stutter and being mentally competent. And I honestly, I don't think that Joe Biden is competent to be president of the United States of America. I mean, listen, I'll tell you one thing. If he would have come out and just said, listen, I'm sorry, we made a bad mistake pulling out of Afghanistan the way we did. I'm sending troops back in, and we're going to get every U.S. citizen and visa holder that's in that country, and we are not leaving until we do. That's our mission, you know, because no, there's a difference between a war and a mission. Okay, yeah, so sending troops into a country might initiate a war because of the fact that, you know, you're sending military troops into another country. But at the same time, I think there you go. At the same time, you're also trying to save your own countrymen. All right? This is the problem with the United States, getting their fingers dirty. Listen, you don't have any business going into a country, another person's country, and just in case you wonder what I'm doing, you see we got the fire hydrant on right there, and it's kind of hot out here, so just doing a little cool down. That's how we do in New York City, you know. But that's the reason why we shouldn't be getting our hands dirty in the first place. Then we wouldn't have to go through all this stuff. You know, my glasses just broke. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, wow. So yeah, that's why I said talk about real time. You know, this is in real time. I cannot see without my glasses. Luckily, I don't know how, but luckily I just happen to have a bottle of crazy glue in my pocket. So if I look a little funny right now, that's the reason why my lens just popped out, because the frame cracked. I live in my glasses. I sleep. I even shower. Like, I even take a shower with my glasses on. Like, I live with my glasses. So, you know, they go through a lot of abuse. And I guess they just had enough. And finally they broke. Oh man, these things are so expensive. I had another pair that what I'm trying to do, I'm waiting for my docket number right now. I'm waiting on a property loss and damage lawsuit that I'm trying to bring against a certain entity that I cannot name right now for certain reasons. So, but it was a $550 Prada frames that I had, and you know, they got lost in the system. You know, when had a seizure, went to the hospital, and they got lost. and they're supposed to be responsible for it, and they were not. So, I got to do something about it. Anyway, about the Afghanistan stuff, this is the thing, and you know what? You don't hear them saying debt to the West, or debt to France, or debt to Germany. You hear debt to America. And the reason why is America is always sticking their nose up someone else's ass. And, sometimes someone doesn't like to feel someone's nose in their asshole. So this is what America is doing. And yeah, so the Muslims are like, we're tired of this. And this is how these terrorist organizations get started in the first place. First of all, we supported the Taliban, right? The reason why was because the Soviet Union was trying to take more territory, which was Afghanistan. So the CIA, the United States, armed and trained the Taliban to fight the communists. So they were allies. So and I do understand when they talk about terrorism and stuff, and they talk about, give me 1 second. Oh, I still got 14 minutes. All right, I'll take a walk around the block here before I get back. So when they talk about, but Trump was negotiating, listen, it's not the first time that this has happened. We have been on the Taliban side for a long time because of the fight against the Soviet Union. You understand? So now there's no Soviet Union left. So America didn't seem to have a problem with the way the Taliban worked when the Soviet Union was in existence. Now that there's no more Soviet Union and we love Putin, oh, by the way, no one says anything about how Biden loves Putin. They were making all kinds of jokes and conspiracy theories about Trump over Putin, Russia, United States, yada, yada. But, Biden gets a free pass on that. That's one interesting note. But we are now like, okay, no more Soviet Union. So now all of a sudden we're going to start paying attention to what the Taliban is doing. Okay, well, the Taliban and, Trump he agreed to pull out, yes, but he had rules in place, checkpoints. Like, you got to meet this checkpoint, you got to meet that checkpoint, then we'll do this. Then you got to meet that checkpoint, then we'll do this. Then you got to meet this checkpoint, then we'll do this. That's the, you understand? Give and receive, give and receive. There was no just like pull out. No. That's what Joe Biden does. All right? He can't finish what he started. So I guess he doesn't want to get her pregnant. So he just pulls right out. And can you imagine? That's what it's like. She's in bed, you pull out, you put your pants on, you walk out the door. That's what that's what Biden did. And just like any lady would feel offended if someone did that to them, that's what he did to not Afghanistan, because Afghanistan wanted to pull out. But he did that to American citizens. and visa holders. And we're not just talking about regular visa holders. We're talking about people that have helped our United States military. You know? Yeah, I gotta get going back to work now. So it's just unbelievable that he can't just say, you know what, I made a mistake. We're going to send troops in and we're going to get every single person out of there. Even his own Department of Defense is saying, we can do this. He just don't have the stones to do it. And that's what upsets me. If anyone votes, and I don't think that Biden's going to do a second term, but if anyone votes Biden again, seriously, I'm about to knock somebody out, because that is just, yo, to vote for that guy twice after what he's done to us, that is absolutely ridiculous. Wow. That shit bad at it. Now talk about fucked up. Look at that. Listen. I hope Trump runs in 2024, because I'm gonna have to vote for somebody, and unless the Republican Party has somebody better, or even Democrat. Because to be honest, let's say if you were to say, what Democrat would you have voted for as president? I would have said Buttigieg, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people think they're progressive, liberals. You're not. If you was, Biden would not be in office right now. You know? All this rioting, Black Lives Matter, all of this stuff, and you voted for Biden. And that's what I'm. It's a circus. A lot of people voted for Biden. You know why? You know why? And I've actually heard this from people's mouths, people of a certain persuasion, if you know what I mean. They voted for Biden specifically because he picked a black female for VP. To be honest, yeah, so she might have African ancestry, but to be honest, it's not like she's like you. Yeah, you walking in the hood and all that, you getting arrested and all, but you think Kamala Harris is like you? No, she's not. She don't know the life you lived. She don't know anything about being struggling and having to hustle. She don't know nothing about that. You know, the one percenters, that's Joe Biden. The one percenters, that's Kamala Harris. You know, and I'm tired of people just voting off of color and off of against somebody. A lot of people just voted for Biden because they wanted to vote against Trump. No, don't do that. Vote because of policy, because of character, because this is what you know that you want for your country. Because these things are shaping our society. And you have to understand that anyone that you vote for, he's going to be there at least for 4 years. That's a long time for stuff to happen. It's a lot of time for stuff not to happen as well. And I think that people don't think about that as much. They think more about what the person says they will do or can do, or what they promise to do. But they don't think about, well, how viable is this? Because you got to understand, you got Congress, you got the Supreme Court. You know, there's some things that, yeah, president can just write an executive order with a pen. But at the same time, a lot of the stuff that people actually care for, the things that would change society, are the things that have to go through Congress, you know, which is the House of Representatives, Congress, Senate. Then you have your judiciary, the Supreme Court. Then you have your executive. You know, you got all of this stuff matters. And this is the stuff that people really, really just don't think about. You can't just say, oh, he said he's going to do this. No. You have to remember, things have to pass through courts. Things have to pass through other people's heads. Things have to be signed off. Things have to be ratified by states. You know, like, it's not just cut and dry like people wish it would be. But, you know, people still vote based on what they hear someone say on a debate or on TV or whatever, you know. And I just hope that people wake up and realize that Biden is not the way to go. Don't vote for him again, please.